Alright, so we're at Pintastic New England 2015 and we're going to go check out the free play game room. The show has not opened yet. This is Saturday we're doing this yet, so a lot of these machines are off. But I'm going to give you an idea of basically what is in this show. I'm going to try and come through again when everything's on and going around. But if not, at least you'll get an idea of what wonderful machines you get to play here. Certainly, not least, one of the rarest machines going around is a Big Bang Bar, which was from a private collector here. One of, I believe, only like 198 that was ever produced. I'm really looking forward to playing this later on today. Let's go inside and see what else they have. Alright, just coming around on the end here, you have a Gottlieb Premier machine, a Monte Carlo. Pretty cool. And then next that has a Gottlieb Volcano, one of their earlier SS State games. Alright, coming out on one side, we have Spy Hunter, which is based on the video game from the early 80s. Bally's Dr. Dude, very highly respected video game from the late 80s, System 11 game. You have a couple of Gottlieb Surf and Safaris. Gottlieb Cue Ball Wizard, which really isn't a bad table. I didn't really like it at first, but it kind of grew on me. There's a Gottlieb Arena, you don't see too many of those around. Johnny Mnemonic. Very bad movie, really good pinball machine. Alright, and you got a Stern NASCAR, a Stern Shrek, a Ripley's Believe It or Not, a Lord of the Rings, and a Whitewater from Williams, another really cool game. A couple of empty spaces because a couple of the games did sell. WWF, I can say that because that's what it is, Royal Rumble. That's a really fun game. If you ever get the chance to play one, you should. South Park, one of my absolute all-time favorite games. You have got to see this in action. This is Creature from the Black Lagoon, and this should win Best in Show. This has all been LED tricked out. I mean, just take the detailed look of the Creature from the Black Lagoon topper. That is just awesome. Have a Sharky Shootout. This is something you will not see every day, every month, and most likely ever, unless you're extremely lucky. Yes, it's an Addams Family, but it's an Addams Family Gold. I don't know how well this is going to come out, but if you can see that, that's how you can tell it's a special collector's edition. Extremely, extremely rare. You got a Stern Indiana Jones. Coming back here on the outside, you got some colored DMD tables there. A Stern Metallica. Scared Stiff, one of my favorites. You got another Addams Family. And you have a Theater of Magic. That's a really fun game by Bally. Alright. Over here, you got a Bram Stoker's Dracula. Very, very fun game. Pat Lawler's Twilight Zone. A lot of stuff going on in this table, but it's fun to play. Very intimidating, though. And then you got a couple of music-based games, Guns N' Roses and an AC/DC. Both fun to play. I prefer AC/DC music over Guns N' Roses. Yeah, some people might not agree, but Guns N' Roses is very pretentious. But that's just my personal feelings. If you like Guns N' Roses, more power to you. All right, let's go into the second aisle, see what we have. All right, so have a Bally's Mousing Around. That's a fun game. Another System 11 game. Attack from Mars, a very easy game, but so much fun. You know, with my sci-fi background, it's a lot of fun to play. Jurassic Park. Jurassic World is well on its way to being one of the top movies of all time. Box office wise, domestically and worldwide, and the game's pretty fun too. One of the better Data East offerings. Have another Guns N' Roses, a Star Wars Data East game, a lot of fun to play, but if you really get into pinball, it's basically just a one-shot game. But they've had new revisions to the ROM over the years that people have done that made it a more fun game. You got a Williams Laser Ball, another NASCAR, a Data East Checkpoint. This is a big deal because Data East's Checkpoint was the first game to offer a DMD of any type. That little screen you see on the bottom of the back glass, there's your DMV. Bally Xenon's one of the new offerings for the Pinball Arcade. That's a fun game. Got a Tron Legacy. Another Scared Stiff. A Stern Wheel of Fortune. And Twister with the little whirlwind type, fan up there. One of the Sega games. Got another Cue Ball Wizard. A Stern Elvis. And here's something you don't really see every day, and this is actually up and running. Got a couple of fans here playing a Nintendo Super Mario Brothers. It's actually a pretty fun game. One of Gottlieb's better D&D offerings before they went out of business. You have another Johnny Mnemonic. Star Trek 25th Anniversary machine, one of my favorites, because I'm a big Star Trek guy. Anybody who watches the show knows that. Got another Wheel of Fortune. High Speed, one of Steve Ritchie's best games. Very fast game, very fun play the game. Williams Road Kings. Revenge from Mars, which is one of Bally Williams' last offerings, the sequel to Attack from Mars, and one of the PinCab 2000 machines, which melded video games and pinballs together. A lot of fun. A very old SS vintage Star Trek based on a motion picture back from 1979. And an Amazon hunt. You don't see too many of those around. Okay. Over here on this side, there's a couple of video games in here. There's more out in the other room. So you got a Namco, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga mix in. Those are always fun to play. Another Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is pretty popular here at Pintastic. Got a Striker Extreme. Gottlieb Hoops. I've never seen one of those before in real life. A Williams Riverboat Gambler, another system game. Any of the Williams late 80s games are pretty much golden. Catacomb Stern. I've never seen one of those in real life. That's pretty cool. Bally Paragon, one of the best SS games going. Over here, if I can get around this gentleman. Bally Strikes and Spares. Very, very classic table. A lot of fun to play. We've got a Bally Pool Sharks, Williams Police Force, Williams Stay Station, Earthshaker, another Pat Lawler table. Really, really fun table to play. And right next to that, you got Whirlwind. Again, another Williams System 11 table. Very, very fun to play. Here's something that's really cute. Marvel Superheroes. So it looks like it's one of those home games that you could pick up. So, it looks like it's fun to play if you're like a kid. Anyway, it's just nice to have here. Black Knight 2000, and right next to it, Black Knight. Steve Ritchie games, some of the fastest tables going. Black Knight, one of the first tables, and not the first table to author synthesized speech and upper playfield. A lot of fun. Data East Secret Service, one of their first machines, if not their first machine. Fun to play. Another Spy Hunter. Williams World Cup, getting into some of the more early SS type games. Now this is rare. Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is a Zachariah pinball table. You don't see many of these around. Zachariah is a European company. So when you see one of these around, it's a real treat. You always get a chance to play it. Williams Flash, one of Steve Ritchie's earlier offerings. Very fast table, very fun to play. This gentleman here is working on a Firepower 2. And next to that is a Gottlieb's Big Hurt. So Frank Thomas, a really big baseball star in the 90s. Got a multicade that people can play on. And Sega's Apollo 13. It's not a bad table, but it's mostly known for its 13 multi-ball pinball, which is, it is pretty cool. All right, we got one more row to go through. You're seeing more and hearing more stuff going on because we got more stuff happening. It's starting to open up now. Got a Stern X-Men Pro, another Cue Ball Wizard, a Gottlieb Rocky. If you remember, they actually used this in Rocky 3, and Paulie basically destroyed a perfectly good pinball machine. But that really exists and it's fun to play. Demolition Man. A very cool, cheesy movie, very awesome pinball machine. Right next to that, one of my all-time favorites, Roadshow. This just got released for the Pinball Arcade. Absolute blast, a lot of fun to play. Moving on, we got a Bally's Bobby Orr Power Play. The only thing I like about this, Bobby Orr is forever to me a Boston Bruin, not a Chicago Blackhawk. But very cool game for its time. The Shadow, again, one of my top 5 all-time games. Really hoping this makes it into the Pinball Arcade someday. Very fun game to play. Next to that is a Stern Sopranos. Surprisingly fun to play. Definitely more of an adult game though, not for kids. But if you get the chance to play one, definitely take it. Got a Bally Embryon. Again, another one of our early solid state games, late 70s, early 80s. Simpsons Pinball Party. Can't say enough about this game. It's not one of my favorites, but a lot of people love it. Probably one of the deepest rule sets, if not the deepest rule set going. And probably the most requested after Adams Field got released for the Pinball Arcade, so we'll have to see what happens. Got another Gottlieb Volcano. Have a Stern Big Game here. The Getaway High Speed 2, another one of Steve Ritchie's games, one of probably his masterpiece. Really, really fun game. A game I'm personally looking forward to playing to later on today is Stern Flight 2000, again one of the games on the Pinball Arcade. Next to that, got a Gottlieb's Devil's Dare. Have another Demolition Man here, another Black Knight here. A Circa Sport 2000. Never even heard of Circa before. So, or Unidesa. I guess Circa is actually the name of the pinball machine. It looks interesting though. You take a look. The playfield. So, well, I'll have to check it out later on. You have some EM machines here. So EM being electromechanical. So basically, it's all wires and plugs and switches and bolts. So most of these are from the 50s and 60s era. So you got a Gottlieb's World's Fair and a Showboat. Showboat, one of the more bigger titles of its day. Killer Instinct. So that's an actual Killer Instinct cabinet. I was never a fan of Killer Instinct. I couldn't pull off a 100-hit combo if I tried. I was lucky if I could pull off a 5. But still, it's a fun game. A Gottlieb's Vulcan we have over here in the corner. Got some people playing some EMs here. You got a Gottlieb's Bowling Queen and a Square Head. Have a lady here that's playing a Gottlieb's Flipper Card. Gottlieb was well known for the EM machines, and they were really the big people going in the 50s and 60s. Got a Gottlieb's Grand Slam. Another Gottlieb game, Melody. And then you got a Williams Pot of Gold. A lot of these tables have like other stuff going on in the back glass, so it was kind of like gimmicky so people could see what was going on. So anyway, still fun. We got a Williams Pat Hand here. Gottlieb's 300, the bowling game. Gottlieb's Roller Disco with the little roller disco ball topper, which is pretty cool to see that going on. Over here you got Ace High. It's probably the oldest machine here that's on play. Doesn't even have like a scoring wheel, so he actually has like lights behind the scores over there. If you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. Those little scores light up, and that's how you keep score. Next to that, you have a Gottlieb Ships Ahoy. You have a Bally Odds and Evens. Got more people working on over here. So you got a Egghead here, which looks pretty cool. It's like a tic-tac-toe type theme. And you have Gottlieb's Papa Card for 1972. This is a highly requested pinball machine at the Pinball Arcade. Looking forward to playing it. Hello. This is Spirit of 76. One of the games that might actually make it in someday if they actually put any more EMs in. So we'll have to see. Next to here, you can see the game's getting turned on now. You have a Gottlieb's Incredible Hulk. You have a Gottlieb's Buck Rogers. You have a Charlie's Angels. You have a Gottlieb's Sinbad. And you have a Gottlieb's Pinball Pool. Over here, Central Park. Again, a classic game. One of the games in the Pinball Arcade, and I was really happy to play it for the first time like ever yesterday. Gottlieb's King of Diamonds over here. How you doing? A Chicago coin. Now, you don't see many of these around at all, so this is Jukebox. That looks like a lot of fun. Hoping to play that later on today. Got some more EMs here in the corner. So you have a Gottlieb New York, Gottlieb's Pro Pool, Gottlieb's Fun Park, Gottlieb's Super Clown, Jungle King, Gottlieb's Sinbad. And to finish out the end, have a Lethal Weapon 3, Star Trek The Next Generation, one of Steve Ritchie's finest, Indiana Jones, The Pinball Adventure. This is probably the game that people want most in the Pinball Arcade, but because of the licenses, it's probably not going to happen. I hope so. What an excellent game. You have a Starship Troopers. This also is in the Pinball Arcade. Really fun game from Sega. A lot of stuff going on, but really cool. Have a Maverick, another Road Kings, another Shadow. You have a Sure Shot here, which is like the early version of Big Shot. So I'm gonna have to try this later on. A Blackout, and finally a Dr. Dude. You can see that the stuff has been turned on. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna see if we can't find some highlights for you. So this is the Adam Sandler Gold lit up and in play. You can see, hopefully, how it has the gold trim on the outside, and you see like the gold bar, and you see how it's lit up and everything's laid out in gold, so you can tell it's an actual gold edition. Alright, it is up. Look at this. This is an awesome machine. So this is a picture from the Black Lagoon. It has a color DMD. You can see it has been like completely tricked out, and it is just really cool. You see the little screen in there? That's an added monon. You look, it says welcome to Pintastic 2015. I am really looking forward to playing this. So that's what we have here. Probably end up going into the vendor room next, and I'll post another thing as to what's in the vendor room. This was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.